Hello, listeners, Free Fight family, guys, gals, non-binary pals. Welcome to the call-in show. Tonight on Street Fight, we are listening to you. We want to know what's going on in your neck of the woods. Call into the show. I just realized I don't have it open.
I got it open.
I will in a second. You do? Okay.
I do.
Good. What's the number?
614-655-3887. Give us a call.
And call that number. Talk to us. Let us know what's going on in your neck of the woods. My name is Brett Payne. My co-host is Brian Quinby. We've been doing this for a long-ass time, and we'll continue to do so until the end of time. And we're happy that all y'all are along for the ride. We take calls on Sunday nights. We do our own thing on Wednesday night, and you can watch it all at twitch.tv/Street Fight Radio. Jump in there on the chat, hang around, and if you want to do more than that, head to patreon.com/Street Fight Radio, where you get access to bonus material and bonus live streams. We have a new feature with live streams there, and I think I'm going to implement it for the next premium show. That information will be coming by Wednesday, by the next show. I'll let you know what to expect over at patreon.com/Street Fight Radio. Right now, Brian is doing the I'm Sorry series, which is illuminating and fun and interesting, and all great shows so far. I mean, people are saying it too. A lot of people are more people than before are messaging about how good it is.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's fun as hell. That episode with Tony was really fucking fun to do. Really funny. I mean, that Kramer's apology is maybe one of the greatest pop culture artifacts of my entire lifetime. I think it's really something to listen to that again, which I listened to it 100 times when it happened. So
yeah, I haven't actually listened to the episode this week, so I know I haven't. I'm looking forward to it though.
Totally different opinions this time than when I heard it the first times. So,
I bet.
You know, you fucking switched it up, you know, if I'd have been doing a podcast when the Kramer thing first happened, I would have been like, this cancel culture's got to stop.
Sure. It was a different time.
Yeah.
Different world.
Oh, well, I guess
different age. You also grow. Yeah.
I guess if this guy can't say the N-word, nobody can say the N-word. It's funny though too, because Tony, I mean, and it probably has more to do with Tony being black, is that like he remembered parts of Kramer's thing that like I didn't remember, that he said stuff about lynching the people in the audience too.
Yeah,
like, that makes it a lot more bad. To me,
it was
that
awful.
Makes it a lot more bad. The N-word was just like, you could be like, hey man, you know, he was just being offensive on purpose. And
there are whites that will insist there is no word they're not allowed to say.
Yeah, and that's what he would be doing. You know, that's what I had maybe over the years had convinced myself he was doing, was like, you know, he's getting heckled by people of color, and he's yelling at
black
them.
people, not people of color, black people.
Yeah, he's getting heckled by black people. He wants to say the thing that's going to hurt them the most. He knows that word is the N-word. He's going to say the N-word. But I mean, it was way more racist.
Yeah, it was sarcastic. It's supposed to be sarcastic racism that just turned out to be extremely gross and ugly, and and not fun or cool.
I think the craziest thing about it though is that his apology, you know, you don't think about how things used to be, or you know, people maybe at that time didn't know how to handle the PR of this sort of thing. But I don't think you should do your apology at a comedy show.
No,
like, I think
that's what he did.
He went on David Letterman with Jerry Seinfeld there.
No. Oh, yes. I do remember that Jerry Seinfeld was like, I co-signed for this guy.
Well, no, he kept saying, stop laughing. It's not funny. He's serious. Stop laughing. Because Kramer would say shit and the crowd would laugh because I'm at a comedy show. And is he being funny? It's like, because the fucking whole Kramer act is that he is just funny on
He's daft.
site. Yeah, he shows up and he says things in a funny way, and it's funny, and that's the whole fucking thing. And yes, Psychic Gasoline did mention he kept saying Afro-Americans in his apology, which is also odd. But Jerry Seinfeld having to tell the audience.
That sounds like when you're apologizing in front of your friends and you want to have an inside joke to tell later.
Yeah, in front of the audience at David Letterman after a monologue while Jerry Seinfeld is sitting on stage is maybe the worst. It's fucking, I'll tell you the truth, it's unfair for the audience at David Letterman.
Yeah, you should have to sign a release, or you should get paid. It should be... There should be a little bit more organization to this. You could not just throw this in front of people that signed up to get free tickets. People that are like traveling to New York and are like, sure, we'll watch David Letterman, and then they get this.
We'll go to David Letterman, and Jerry Seinfeld's the guest. This is going to be a night of 1,000 laughs. It's going to be crazy up there. They're gonna make us laugh our heads off, and then you're being asked to like excuse this guy's racism, like
right
3 days later, and he's spilling his guts to you. It's just there's something like artistic about it in a weird way when I look at it, where it's like, man, like that would never happen now because people understand.
But I mean, I think that's typical abuser behavior, though, is to fuck up and then immediately rush in with like, I already know everything's bad and fucked up and it's fine. We can move on. Like, I'll just say it out loud that I did something fucked up, and then you don't have to be bothered by it anymore. You don't have to hold it against me anymore. And it's like, no, I'm still reeling from the way that you fucking made us all feel. Like, I don't trust you anymore. You're fucking different. Like, you're a different person to me now.
He also did the 2000s celebrity move of like saying something racist and going to rehab. Like,
yeah, I mean,
rehab for racism. Like,
yeah,
because a lot of them, they'd be like, I wasn't drinking or doing drugs or anything, but like, I think I just have racism in my soul. So I had to go to rehab to have the racism taken out of me, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
intervention for racism.
Yeah. So yeah, that one was that is a very strange fucking thing. But it is a fun show to do, and I know there are thousands of apologies, and like I get 3 to 5 of them a day in my DMs, and it's always cool because it's like, hey, you covered this one. Here's one that's kind of like it. So then you see one that's kind of like it, and they did a really good job on it. The Thug Kitchen one had a few that were kind of. I had a few sent to me that were kind of like them and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I mean, it's also fun to see how bad people are at doing it. Cause I don't know, like, I don't know what I would do if I got caught in like a real for real firestorm. I was watching the show Veep last night with my wife and kid. And there was an episode that we were watching where the vice president's daughter sees the movie 5 Broken Cameras, which is a movie about Palestinians under occupation and like Israeli IDF forces breaking their cameras, and it's just about the Palestinian thing, right? The Palestinian the occupation of Palestine and shit like that. And somebody finds it and posts it on a blog, and then they are making her daughter apologize for it. And I was just sitting there thinking like, and her daughter at first is like, I'm not apologizing. I'm not. And then by the end they do it. And then I started thinking about like, man, I know that this is a fake show. This is like really fake, but I sit around, I'm thinking about all the time a person has had to apologize that like, remember when Joe Biden had to apologize for saying that Barack Obama was articulate? Mm-hmm. And like, I wonder what happened behind the scenes on the way to Joe. How did Joe Biden react to somebody saying, dude, you got to apologize for that?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I've had to do quite a few in my time. I'll keep doing them because I like to live wrong. So
yeah. So
it's become a standard. That's the thing about like fucking around new relationships and changes in life and everything, is that you do kind of get dragged down into the muck and the mire and you get to see how people react to stuff, you know, and it's like you don't get to pick how people react to things, you know, and you just have to say sorry for doing shit that you never knew it was wrong. You just are like, I didn't know, but I'm finding out right now that was a problem.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm the same way, man. So the other shit that, like, I have been on Twitter, not as much today, actually. I can't do it while I'm working out, while I'm doing my exercise anymore, because my exercise is a little more intense. I also had to watch Reacher today, so I didn't get a chance to. But every time I've popped in, I've seen somebody who's saying, like, I don't know if this war is, I don't like this idea of this war, and then getting screamed at and called Putin propagandists. And I'm like, God, you're really asking for Americans to be smart here. Like, nobody knows what's going on here. It's a bunch of people saying, like, I mean, there's probably like 8 people that know what's going on in the United States.
Well, I mean, I would say it's a lot of people lashing out and sharing opinions, but most of all, it's like, yeah, I mean, picking a side is really fucking stupid. I mean, what we want is for like every person to put their fucking gun down and stop doing this shit. You know, like we have TikToks and all this stuff for a reason, but yeah, they're trying to write some sort of crazy war stories about like this ship of Ukrainian people that were like, fuck you, Russia. And then they got like bombed to death. Like it's a fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme movie or something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a crazy culture that like picking, and nobody wins. Like there's no reason to pick a side in this. It's all people involved, and both sides are being destroyed.
How could anybody
but nobody that lives in these countries would ever do this to each other. It is only because of governments and countries and flags that people feel this kind of way and can be brainwashed into doing these type of disgusting, horrible acts. I mean, fuck military across the board, everybody.
I mean, and I find it like, I just think it's interesting that it's kind of like, oh, hey, you guys, you need to be smart and on the right side of this conflict, that like there is nobody in where I'm from or anywhere around here that understands even for 1 second what's going on in Ukraine, or what's like, I would never understand. I've never been out of the United States in my entire life. So
yeah, but Americans, I mean, live a very sheltered life, and you're not allowed to talk about anything outside of that. You know, they don't want to accept that they don't know what it's like to live under these things. And they do like literally go to work and spend a lot of their time holding other people's lives in the balance, as if like there's some sort of ultimate war strategy that you can find some subreddit to hash it out with somebody about and be like, I know how to solve this problem, you know, but they've never lived under any sort of like wartime situation.
Yeah, that's what I found the most disgusting about a lot of the coverage of this thing that I see. There's a thread making the rounds. Maybe we'll play a couple of them on Wednesday, but of people saying like, these are European people. These are, you wouldn't expect this kind of stuff to be happening in places that aren't Afghanistan or Syria or something. And I'm like, that's nuts.
That's why I want them to do the nuke. This is why I'm all in on the nuke, because they say that out loud as if that's an okay position. There's like zero critical thinking, and like Americans are never going to get it, and they're going to be racist as hell. And like, yeah, that's just it's such a gut punch to have someone say that out fucking loud, like on the TV.
Yeah. Yeah. And it, you know, the thing about it is like, this is also like, I've seen, like, it's crazy. It is global, that critique. I saw an Al Jazeera clip saying something like that. I saw French, German, you know, BBC stuff. This is like people all the way around the world.
People in Afghanistan that are riding around and fighting back are the same ones like the anti-mask people here. Like that, those people share the same sentiment of like, I will fight back no matter what. Like I'm risk it all. Like you see those people at a fucking Walmart, you know, with those shirts that say like, if you see me run, follow. If you see, you know, like
I've never seen that. That's crazy.
You know,
grunt
that shirt
style? No.
Yeah, there's like a grunt shirt that says like, if you see me run, follow if you see. I don't know what it is. It's an awful shirt. I feel like I've seen it a million times, but like, you know, or those memes of like behind every blade of grass there will be a rifle, and it's like it's just so disgusting that we still treat people subhuman, like, and that we're this far that we think that like Middle Easterners are not like European, or no, they're not people. We don't consider them people in the same way we consider Europeans to be people.
No, I mean,
Africans are not people, you know.
Countries are changing their refugee laws right now because the Ukrainian refugees are white people, and they're saying like, well, yeah, you gotta, you of course, and they're like changed it.
They're like a lot of white supremacist white people too, like just straight up denying black folks. Like I've just seen video of like Ukrainian people being the worst to fucking Africans.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of the Nazi type stuff too. Like just like when you look at like the uniforms and shit like that, you're like, oh, I don't know, that's pretty close. You know?
So here it is. It's a Marines quote. It says, "If I charge, follow me. If I retreat, kill me. If I die, revenge me." There's pictures of people wearing those at like Disneyland and like, you know, Walmart. Those folks, I feel like you got to stand with Palestine. Like, I don't understand how you don't understand what it's like to fight for everything and put it all on the line, like when you're pushed to that limit, and to disregard like the people of Pakistan and wherever else we've been throughout the awful American history of war. I hate it. Yeah. I mean, and I hate that, like, I hate that we have an entire culture of white people ready to burn and destroy everything and start killing minorities and trans people. And yet you can still go on TV and say like, these are Europeans that are dying right now. This is disgusting. These aren't Africans or Latin Americans at all. These are white people. This is uncouth.
Right. That, you know, it's funny you brought up that shirt. It had me thinking like I went to the Lego store last week. Yes, I know. I go to the Lego store a lot, but they were open that time. But I went last week and I'm walking out of this mall. You know, we're at roughly 50-50 on mask wearing in Columbus at this point.
Yeah. I went to the mall today too.
Yeah, we're 50-50 on that. I see a guy without a mask on. He's got a shirt on, and it's a grunt style shirt. And the guy's like 20 years old. And I know that's maybe the age where you would respond to some of that stuff, but it's just like, I always think when I see people like that, like a very young person, a 17, 18-year-old that is wearing like grunt style or that is like into Trump already and shit like that. Or the people, I'll tell this story in 1 second, or the people in my neighborhood that are sort of, there's some wild stuff going on here. And I'm like, Zoomers, you have in your mind that they're going to save us, and they are not going. They're exactly like us. They're the same as us.
I mean, there's 19-year-olds that can clock whiteness, that can realize like it's best to double down on whiteness because that's what everyone else is doing. And there's enough of us. And that's the general trend of things, is to keep our little segregated society going along. For sure. I mean, yeah, there's no way around that. And especially when you're young and super selfish and, you know, you don't have a lot of exposure to anything outside of like a suburban world or something. It's very easy that, I mean, definitely a percentage of people get cleaved off into grunt style life.
Yeah. So the school, my daughter's school, some of the parents paid for a billboard, which anybody who's ever looked into paying for a billboard, it's like a no immediately. It's so expensive.
You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's so expensive.
They're always broken. You can't even, it's usually falling apart. Like you barely get a day out of the motherfucker, which as soon as the hail comes, it's done. So
I told this, I was actually telling my family this, is that like back in 2005, I think the Opie and Anthony fans bought a billboard to harass this guy on his way to work, this other DJ. And they crowdsourced it, and it was $5,000 to have it up for like a week or something.
Yeah.
And they did it. They got it done. But that was when I first heard somebody talk about how much a billboard is. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. The parents in our neighborhood put a group of parents in our neighborhood put up a billboard that said free their smiles. It's anti-mask.
Oh,
It's telling
no.
them to get rid of the masks, free their smiles. And
Let
I
our
wanna,
children smile again.
and I want to be really clear to people that are listening. I don't live in the suburbs. I don't live in a conservative enclave of
Sure.
Columbus, Ohio. I live in the city in a liberal, very liberal neighborhood. And they actually asked the kids not to go to, because they were debating it at a school board meeting. The teachers asked the kids not to go to the school board meeting because the parents are acting like maniacs at the school board meetings. So there's a lot going on here.
I mean, it's similar. It's just, I mean, the rich people do kind of want to be able to have their own rules in the same way that Steve Jobs wanted to cure his cancer with fruit juice because he thought he was so smart that he deserved $1 billion. Like, I think in a microcosm, those smaller places are like, we're a different community here, like we have different values and we're safe and we're clean and we're pure. We do raw diets, we have boutique gym memberships, and that kind of stuff is like definitely a huge problem we have with moving forward too, because people feel like they have to defend their little enclaves at all costs,
Yeah, we've had teachers like getting in trouble, I guess, like in the neighborhood over the past couple weeks. I know that one of my daughter's teachers was showing them campaign videos, and they showed them a campaign video of a guy that is full on 100% a moron. He's a conservative guy. He wears a cowboy hat. His name is Joe Blystone. My father-in-law has his sign in his yard. Ooh. And it's like and he is very far right, and they showed the ads and it made them look goofy. They ended up getting trouble because like the kids made fun of the Joe Blystone ad, and they said the teacher was leading them in that direction. This guy that's running for like governor of Ohio as like the Trump guy, the cowboy Trump guy, conservative. He showed him the ad.
School. Wait, yeah, who showed him?
The teacher showed them the ad. They were showing the kids political ads. So they showed like a Democrat's ad, and then they showed this guy's ad, and the guy's ad was insane because all those Republican people that are on the Trump wave, their ads are fucking crazy. They're like shooting guns and out in the desert fucking screaming and shit like that.
Yeah, they're spamming headlines. Like they're just like, I'll fucking fight to the death with any liberal that steps to me. Vote for me. I'm Brett Payne.
Yeah. So they showed him, and the kids were making fun of the ad. And I think one of the kids must have gone home and made fun of the ad to the parents, and the parents got the teacher in trouble. They got the teacher in trouble because they were like, "You're leading our kids to turn against Republicans." And it's like, I showed them the fucking ad. That's the ad they put out, motherfucker.
It's 1984 against Republicans. The kids are laughing at us. They don't teach our values anymore. They don't teach our values of hatred and non-inclusion and uniformity anymore. They don't tell kids to stand up for themselves, not to stand up for themselves the way that we didn't.
It's the craziest thing, dude. It is just like he showed them a political ad made by the guy that's trying to get elected. That is not like hitting below the belt. That's just showing a commercial.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Yeah.
That's facts. That's facts, dog. Whatever you put out is like, you have to deal with that. I mean, I'm creative too. And like when you put it out into the world, it doesn't belong to you anymore. The moment that you put it on YouTube, the moment you upload it to a site, it doesn't belong to you anymore. People can feel however they do about it because you're not in charge of that.
Well, and he was playing the ad. The guy, I can't stress this enough. He's playing the ad the guy put out. It wasn't an attack ad on the guy. You would think that guy would want people to see his ad. He paid for the fucking ad,
Sure. He was doing a favor. He was
We gotta
exposed.
get that.
Yeah, and if I was in charge too, I wouldn't let him expose them to this type of bullshit at all. Like, I have no time in my life for this. I'm not into this idea of like equal exposure for dumbass ideas just because people have them. Like, that's the downfall of everything. That's the Democrats that are helping you out there. They're doing you a fucking favor by thinking that this is a okay curriculum to put out there.
It's also just crazy again to say. It's just crazy to say, like, to have a cowboy hat in an Ohio. I know the cowboy is.
I mean, that's peacocking. I mean, I used to have a cowboy hat I had with a skull patch on the front of it around like the Brett Michaels time of like Rock of Love type shit. It went over pretty well. But I wouldn't put it in my campaign ad. That was more like a nighttime character for me.
Yeah, he's wearing a cowboy hat in the campaign ad. He's standing up in front of what looks like a gallows with a tattered American flag behind him.
No, Republicans can't do that. I mean, I literally dress and act and arrange my life in a way just to let you know that I automatically consider you racist. I know that we all think you're racist. And so you're supposed to like tiptoe around things like gallows and lynching and punishment shit.
I just DM'd you, Brett, on Twitter, his website. I want you to see what he looks like before we take a call. I'm going to put the website in the chat too, just so everybody can see it.
Oh my God. He has a cowboy hat as his... This motherfucker found a weird hat at the thrift store and turned it into his whole goddamn identity.
Yeah. He doesn't look like an Ohio guy at all either. I don't know what he's trying to do.
Like a Texas electric farm guy. He's wearing like a quarter zip vest that looks like a total douchebag, like San Francisco asshole type thing. But then he's like Houston up top with like good beard grooming and everything. He just looks like I came out of town with the best ideas from the South and the West.
He is.
I know what's best. I'm Blystone.
His fucking running mate, his lieutenant governor, looks like he's in the mafia to me.
He looks like he's in shambles to me.
I know.
He looks like he's about to ask you for a cigarette.
He does look like he's drinking.
I'm trying to quit, man, but like I just need one right. Why I drink too much, I got to get one.
So 10,000 Patriots, $100 each 20 days. And, he'll get $1 million. He's
smart.
10,000 people to give him $100 every 20 days. That is what's the word? That is ambitious. Okay, Blystone, you do have ambition, I guess.
He's going for it. He's got guts, though.
I mean, to every 20 days is like, it's not even a month. It's $100 every 20 days.
I mean, the thing that makes me sick about all of this, though, is that literally some dumbass can walk into any Western Ohio town with a cowboy hat on and just take it over. Can just be like, I'm Blystone and I'm in charge now. We're going to run this thing in the right way, And they're like, oh yeah, he's doing what's right. He's doing what's right.
Yeah. I don't know what I don't get it, but yeah, the teacher got in trouble for showing his campaign ad, which again we'll play it on.
Yeah,
we'll have to play it on Wednesday, and I'm sure it's hilarious. I'm sure it is like the type of thing that when 17-year-olds see it and are making fun of it already, that is like a really bad sign for a political ad.
Joe Blystone is like, I don't care if the TikTok generation watches it. Nickelodeon ruined their brains, made them start backsassing against parents. Well, spare the rod, spoil the child, because Blystone is here. And my britches are bigger than the Texas Panhandle. And I came up to my Ohio River Valley to whoop y'all into shape.
Crazy ad. What a crazy looking guy.
I mean, he could have rolled into any 1800s town and just become the mayor. There would be a Blystone, Ohio, if this guy was born 100 years ago or 200 years ago.
Yes, you're probably right about
Blystone instead of Columbus. He could have been the Christopher Columbus with this much swagger and stupid confidence.
Oh, yeah. So that is, I tried to post it in the chat, but it won't come up in the chat. So I don't know what to do.
gotta type something. You can't just put raw links in there because I think it thinks you're spamming or something.
Let me do that. Let me fix it. Hey, I think we got it, guys. I think we got it.
Gals and non-binary pals too.
I know, but I'm nervous. So I was getting
everybody's a guy. Everybody's a guy of some sort.
True.
We don't have guy tendencies. We have gal tendencies.
I think it's coming. I think you folks are gonna get it. And it just takes a second to update. And I guess we could take a call now. Me and Brett are both on Bluetooth tonight. So that's another big, I mean, I've been on Bluetooth for a long time. But when I told Brett you could do that, he got very excited. And now he's on it.
There's just it'll happen to you, fresh faced 19-year-old that likes the show right now. You just think that like technology is going to be hard forever, or that it's just going to be this stupid cord is plugged into the computer and like you talk with your hands and that you end up knocking over drinks and fucking things up. I don't know why I never considered doing Bluetooth to my headphones. I really just missed it and was just like, new computer. You got to have cords for everything. I really just was like I just felt like I was stuck with cords for the rest of my life. I didn't feel like they were going to figure this out.
Yeah, no, when we play audio remotely, I have to use corded headphones. Oh, I got it in there. Finally, it showed up. I had to do some wrangling, but I got it in there. A little bit of wrangling, but it's nice. There. It came up blystone4governor.com. I had to write out .com, so you guys can all see him and comment on him.
Right. All right, next, let's take the first call. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey,
what's up?
Hey, what's up,
brother? Not much. We mostly just wanted to call in, say the show is good. We like it.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
We've never had a two call. We've never had a 2-person call though.
Really? I'm quite surprised by that, actually.
Oh wait, we have had one. We had the Elizabeth and her friend, the Jehovah's Witness that escaped.
Yes.
I wonder what happened with her. Now I'm worried about her again.
Oh no.
She'll find us in due time.
It was a very long time ago. So you just called to say that you like the show? Because that is a perfect call. I have to tell you.
Pretty much. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a huge amount to you talk got about. That communications teacher. I do have that communications teacher that I can shit on. So I'm taking this this program, and it's a trade school program. And one of the requirements is you have to take a communications class, which is a whack class. But
yes, I had to take one too.
Yeah, you kind of know how they tend to be. But the teacher that I have is one of the worst teachers that I've ever had.
What's his thing? What's his deal?
Well, one of the main things is that he's kind of a misogynist.
That sounds like a teacher.
And then calls women females.
That's weird. No. I don't like that. Yeah. I don't know why that gnarls me out. I think I've heard enough women tell me it gnarls them out.
It's a pejorative. For sure it is.
It's just a weird thing. It's
like men and then you call women females. It's so ugh. Yeah. Well, another reason it's a little bit like rough is because like it's what people on like 4chan who are like actively misogynist call women is
true.
You know, females and other slurs.
Do you want to know what word I find? You know, I find a word very bad that makes me nervous, and I don't even think it's necessarily like meant to be a pejorative or anything, but when somebody calls somebody an individual, I feel like that's really bad. I don't know why. I always feel like really uncomfortable when somebody's like, that's an individual.
Shady. That's being shady. That's not like, yeah.
Well, I listened to a wrestling podcast.
That's definitely like
This individual.
it's someone.
I listened to a wrestling podcast where a guy says it all the time. He'll be like, this is the type of individual that would say this, but he's not being mean, and he's not being like, it's not like anybody of a certain race or gender. I don't think this guy's like anything, but it just, for some reason, when he says this individual, I'm like, man, why you hate that person? What'd they do?
That makes more sense. No, because this is the type of individual that I equate with a cockroach, is basically what that is. Like there's people just that are they're just straight up bad, awful, disgusting, horrible individuals out there. Nothing we can do about it. I'm going to describe their behavior right now.
I do not like that.
Yeah, no, I think it's kind of othering to say that. You know, it's a way of kind of dehumanizing. You know, I think that's probably where that comes from. And
it's dog whistling as hell.
What bothers me about
Trying to talk like a cop too, I think. Like, it's a a suspicious type individual.
Yes. Yeah. I wonder if it is like if it's like, I know it's cop language, but if it is something that you're taught. Well, no, because I went to college and they didn't teach me that you're supposed to say individual. I mean, because it is gender neutral. It is a gender neutral word. By all accounts, individual should be like a decent word. But instead, whenever somebody says it, I'm just like, damn, man, that was probably racist. And like, it could be about anybody.
Yeah, well, you don't know about individual, but female is definitely misogynist.
Female's always bad. I mean, you should call men if you call men, then it's women.
It's one thing if you say male. If you say males and females and you're consistent between everybody and what you call them,
that's just like you're a weirdo.
Yeah, that's just being kind of weird. But there's nothing inherently wrong with just being kind of weird. It's when you say men and females, or when you're inconsistent with it like that.
I had
like ultra uncomfortable too, because the class is, you know, it's a bunch of welders and machinists in this class, and so there's one woman in the entire class, and he will say something like, you know, females like it when a man is, you know, like polite and responds to them, you know, isn't that right? Ex-female in the class, and it's like,
oh, no, he should be in trouble.
What? Can I ask?
I always thought there was a thing of civilian arrest, and we can't do civilian arrest, and we should be able to just arrest somebody.
I have a question about him though, because this will help me quite a bit, and I think it'll help our listeners. What does he dress like? I need to know like what he dresses like, and I'm going to tell you why. I had a Reddit teacher in 2012 or 13 or 14, I think, when I was at Ohio State. So by the way, I paid a shitload of money for this class, and this guy comes walking in. He wears a trench coat every day. He wears a fedora, and he takes it off when he comes in and puts it down.
Does he like spin it in his hand or do any tricks when he takes it off?
No,
like,
he takes it like,
hold it from the back and kind of Michael Jackson it down to the table.
I mean, he looks like a guy who practiced that for sure. Sure. And he showed us, it's really funny because this was a course on the sociology of work. And mostly what he would show us is South Park clips, like clips from South Park to explain why the government isn't good at doing whatever it's supposed to do. But the other thing he would show us is these video, and he would say, keep in mind, this is college at Ohio State University. He would say, if you guys pay attention and take notes through the whole class, I will show you an honest movie reviews or an honest movie trailer at the end of the class, which were these YouTube viral videos where they would play the trailer, and then
I remember watching those as well.
a guy's funny voice at the end. It was so, it made me feel humiliated and he vaped. You could see him just puffing clouds, and like I felt so shitty that I was paying so much money for this class, and this fucking guy, I mean, some of the stuff he showed us, but
I would be pretty pissed.
giving a upper level college course and saying you get a reward at the end of the day and it's a viral video is one of the worst experiences. But he dressed in a way that I knew what I was getting.
Like more if he just let me leave. Can I just leave?
Yes.
Yeah, even my kid, my 9-year-old would not get excited for the teacher picking out a joke for everybody to watch together.
No. So how does he dress? What does his clothes look like?
He dresses like, I really haven't noticed the way he dresses because it's just like your bland standard, like jeans and a t-shirt.
Okay.
Like
I gotta know
nice
what t-shirts
jeans, nice
though.
shirts, like pretty standard. Like nothing special. The man's he's an adjunct. His main job is a civil engineer.
Okay.
Which is kind of whack for him to be teaching a communications class, but he's also super into. Are you familiar with like we're doing this whole section on like ethics and like
yes.
What he's what he's teaching is this thing called utilitarianism. And it's pretty bad as well. It's so it's just like this.
Shit.
It's one of these like weird analytical like it's a philosophy of ethics. It's like an ethical system, and basically like the premise of it is like sounds pretty good, but also like super basic. It's just like, to be ethical, a person should do what promotes the most good for the most people, which is like, okay, that's like pretty, just should be self-evident.
Smart, yeah.
But
and if you live in a no, go. I think you're going to say what I was going to say.
Yeah, where it gets a little weirder is in the like finer details of it, because it tries to define what it means by good, and it's equally like vague and not useful. And that good, the idea is the only intrinsic good is pleasure, and the only intrinsic bad is pain. And so what you need to do is balance pleasure over pain for the most people possible. And it's so I mean that again is like, there's some flaws in the idea that pleasure and pain being intrinsically good and bad. They're really not. They're pretty neutral.
Right. Or even that like pleasure is something that should be defined in a way like that like everybody finds pleasure everybody defines pleasure to themselves differently, I think. And also I would say when you start talking about does the most good for the most amount of people, like I can jump on board with something like that, but also like the most amount of people leaves out like minorities, which can be really problematic.
It makes it really easy to justify being shitty to somebody, because it's like, this action is going to do the most good, even though it's like, but you're still being fucking like doing bad shit. Like
a really good example that I've seen kind of digging at the problems with utilitarianism is basically an example is a doctor with 5 organ transplant patients, and they are convinced that none of these patients will get the organs they need before they die. And they know about some random like homeless guy who's not very happy and doesn't have any friends or family that no one would notice if they disappeared. And based on utilitarianism, the moral thing to do is to murder that homeless man and harvest their organs for the 5 patients. And that's like something that a utilitarian will look at you and be like, yeah, that is the morally correct thing to do.
Jesus, Jesus. Golly, this teacher
He's also,
stinks.
it's
Now,
the thing about
I got to
class,
give
too,
you...
is I went through the same program. It's a machining program. And it's like, okay, so I want to learn how to write like a fucking email and how to like, I don't know, actually useful shit rather than like the most bullshit class imaginable.
Yeah.
It is weird. It's like they say, it's like you're learning this thing, this very specific skill, and still they like, I think the process of education a lot of times is being made to do things that you don't want to fucking do. You know, like, because I went to school for sociology, and I was doing all kinds of fucking wacky stuff on the way to sociology. And it's like, you can make the argument that like being well-rounded is a good thing, but I took like fucking 9 math classes, and I mean, math, I guess, is great and everything, and it's good for everybody. And you know, if you like math, you like it. But I was never looking to do statistics at all. And like, I also had the idea in my head that was like, I also, when I took the stats class and I got a low grade on it, it's literally the only bad grade I ever got in college. I was just kind of like, this isn't even like, I don't get to define what my goals are. You get to define what my goals are. And it seemed like through all of the time I spent,
like, so much.
Yeah, if you're learning to do machining, then you don't need this. I mean, again, like you said, maybe it would be nice. Maybe it would be nice for them to teach you how to write a professional email, or how like those sorts of things. But wasting time in a communications class
teacher did. She was great.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, didn't assign any homework, realized it was like everyone's least favorite class, and that basically everyone in the class was bullshit, thought it was bullshit, and taught it that way. It was like, okay, I'm going to teach you how to write an email and what like CCing and like all of that shit is, which I don't remember.
You just hit me this now. You saying that just
how to write resumes in the class.
You saying that just hit me to something. This guy is teaching you like what he wants to teach you. It's like you're in a place where you should be learning how to communicate professionally at a work, and this goddamn guy is like, what if we teach him utilitarianism? You never fucking know. You could be machining something and need utilitarianism. It's so useless.
Yeah. Well, I mean, another good example of the way the class has gone is like the first 2 weeks of class, we spent the entire first 2 weeks of this class watching TED Talks about listening.
Yep. That sounds like a communications class.
Yeah.
That sounds
so
like a
funny.
Communications class at the very least.
Yeah,
Such a ripoff.
Like
Such a fucking ripoff. Just shit that's posted to YouTube for free. Like a podcast. Just have it just, it's like, hey, if you go into the bathroom before a big meeting and you put your arms above your head, you'll feel like a big strong bear and you're gonna crush it.
That's so funny. You would, if you understood, Brett, how much of college is like watching TED Talks and listening to NPR podcasts, it would make you fucking nuts, because I am 6 figures in debt from watching TED Talks. And I mean, I had classes that truly made a difference in my life and turned me into a better person. And, you know, reading theory was really great for me. It was like so important and pivotal and what I ended up being. But like, other than that, it was like going into a class, any of the classes you went into where they were like, okay, here's an interesting TED Talk I found. And then you sit there and watch this TED Talk and everybody, a lot of people, you know, it's 50-50, obviously. A lot of people will be like, TED Talks are bullshit. You know, they're not inherently bullshit, but I mean,
A lot of them are mega bullshit. So.
Yeah, you can't charge me.
Anybody well.
It should be illegal to charge me the amount of money that you do. Like that's not fair that you make someone make payments for the rest of their life. Somebody pays $90,000 towards a loan of watching YouTube videos, you know, and that doesn't go towards the principal, and they still have $60,000 left on the bill.
You should be allowed to charge them back after the class is over. Like, bro, nope, that one didn't count.
Like coupons. You should be like, actually, that was on the website for free. That was on the website for free. So actually, that's not, you can't charge me for that, you know?
Yeah. If you could get to the end of a class and be like, too many YouTube videos. Don't charge me for this one. YouTube's free.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's what school has always been to me. Even as in elementary school, like we watched The Mouse and the Motorcycle so much, it was just I wanted to not be at school. Like
that movie's fresh though. I mean, I would love to watch that.
It's I mean, I guess you're mining for gold. Like you do get something out of it. I understand. Everybody that went to college is doing a lot better than I am in life, so it makes sense. But like, it feels like 90% of it is awful. And just putting up with awful people to like be okay with awfulness and move higher up the ladder of awfulness to get when you're trusted with like more resources.
I mean, I went to college and I would say we're even, and so. But yeah, well. Thank you for calling, guys. It was good to hear from you. Call back again. Tell me what kind of t-shirts this guy's wearing. If you can ever get a chance to call back, I need to know what his gear is.
Any Deadpool ties?
And if you come up, if you have to, you could come up behind him while he's sitting there and check the tag on his shirt. And then, like they used to back in high school, dude, where I went in high school, they would fucking come up behind you and pull that little tag out. And if it was like a generic brand, forget about it. You were done. You're done fucked all day. Yeah, you didn't want to do that. So, but thanks for calling, guys.
Yeah, that was not the case with high school. I went to fucking high school. We're in Montana, so it's pretty.
People would come to high school wearing like cowboy boots
with literal shit on them, and like
y'all got hogtied.
We would have beat them up at my school. Like that. That's the interesting thing. If somebody wore cowboy boots.
Yeah, you would have got whooped. In Montana, you would get your ass whooped.
There was a guy that
actually Groveport Hillbillies versus Montana Rancher kids. I want to see that fight. I'm interested.
That's like that TV show. They should do that TV show, like that TV show on Spike, where they would have different eras of warriors fight each other.
Or like different animals, like giraffe versus shark.
Yeah, Montana rednecks versus Groveport rednecks would be interesting.
Yeah,
they both have guns.
Settle it. Who grew up the roughest?
Well, I wouldn't say, because if you're ranching, you grew up the roughest, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Cows, tans.
I can't think of a worse way to grow up.
Your life.
Waking up at 6 in the morning every day.
Yeah, that's a struggle.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Bodob in the chat said the deadliest hillbilly. That would be the best show in the history of the world. I would watch that.
Hillbilly. Dude, there's some hillbillies. I just went to a jiu-jitsu tournament today with my little brother. I didn't compete because I broke my finger, but that's another thing. You talking about working out, like riding the stationary bike and shit. It's just, I don't know. Shout out to jiu-jitsu. That shit's fun as hell.
I'm thinking about doing it when I'm thinking about doing it when I get my cardio up and stuff and strength. I'm thinking about doing that.
Do it to
later.
Get your cardio. Just fucking
do roll?
It. There's a lot of like. There's every level of fitness there. Typically, gyms are extremely friendly and very nice. It's super intimidating to start too, because it's like, fuck me, dude. I gotta prevent this guy from like strangling my ass. But eventually, it's like you start to get an understanding of it, and then you're the one doing the strangling. And it's like, oh fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, from strangler to stranglee.
Like, oh, you were one. Yeah. Exactly. It's a good progression.
Yeah.
Well, it's very satisfying to spin someone around and fucking choke them out. Feels good.
I'm doing it. I gotta do it. But thank you for calling.
You should. You should do it. It makes you feel like a fucking badass. You definitely should do it.
Okay, that I need.
Yeah.
I do need to feel. I did 60 minutes on the elliptical today and felt like a badass. No, so
Yeah.
if it wasn't as badass
Yeah,
as
everyone's
rolling.
so nice too. Like
Making
that's the
someone's
other
eyes
thing. Don't
pop
be
out of their head.
intimidated by like everyone is so nice. It's been pretty universal that I've had that happen. Like I went to like this competition and it was a pretty small competition because it's just like Montana. Eventually I want to go to like Salt Lake and shit. I'm still only a white belt, so but everyone was like super nice to me and like very friendly and cordial and just like everyone was down to this like there to have fun basically rather than being all like weird and competitive and hardcore about it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, even the higher level people are like
the higher level people are even better about that. Like,
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling,
Like
guys.
learning a new
We're
language.
gonna. Yeah.
Thanks for having
for
us,
sure.
man. Yeah. It's a great show.
Yeah.
Peace.
Thank you.
Have a
Peace.
wonderful.
Oh, yeah, hung. Well, and we got it out of there. That's crazy. I would love to do jujitsu. I really want to try it, but I want to be able to breathe while I'm doing it. Like I'm not. What's the word? I don't have much cardio because I smoked. I don't smoke now, but I did.
So you're working on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get.
Yeah,
it up there, man.
You know, I mean, not to disparage anybody, but just the thought I had is like martial arts people are kind of weirdos in that they're like feel like they get this ancient knowledge of like terminating people's lives or something, and like they're never going to use it or something, or like they're, you know, there's some sort of ancient warrior type shit, you know, where it's like when people have a gun and are just like, I mean, I'll stop anything bad or disruptive from happening right fucking now, you know?
Yeah.
It's a weird journey. I mean, you're meddling around with some people. I don't know. I get it. And I actually, it's good. And we should know how to do it because there's a lot of bad people that also study all of it. Like I am definitely down for people. I think now actually thinking about it, we do need some leftist people that are ready to squeeze someone out. Cause that looks like the future the future is coming is like, yeah, taking them out.
Yeah. I mean, it also like, I don't know. I do think it, you know, I've said this a couple times since I started at the gym and stuff is like, there's something about achieving. And I know I'm not going to get a bodybuilder physique or anything like that, but like, I would like to continue achieving as I go. And at some point achieving would be doing something else other than lifting weights and running, you know?
But like that kind of stuff is fueled by like overwhelming fat phobia, and martial arts is more like a weird, like killing people type thing in a way. There's just like, it borders on like military ass taking people down type stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. I love it. I mean, I don't love it. I haven't done it, but it seems fun. As long as it's not
I get it.
I'm not going to get a concussion, you know. That's the thing with me is like I'm pretty good with pain tolerance and stuff like that, and like it would be I don't think I'm going to be kicking anybody's ass at all.
Sure.
Like in real life or kicking anybody's ass period. I just think of it as like a fun activity to try to get good at.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you 100%. And I like I said, I've done it in my youth and I've considered doing it again. And I had a good dad friend that was an instructor. But it just becomes like that thing where you keep getting your gun out. Like I just guys I knew that like kept getting their gun out and like toying with it over and over again. It's just like, why can't you just, why are you always thinking about combat and murder all the time?
Yeah, I mean the guy,
and then also like pretending like you're a dangerous weapon and that like you're like doing everyone a favor by not like snapping their neck when you disagree.
Yeah. The only martial arts guy I ever met, really, like spent any amount of time with, was my friend's sister's boyfriend, who's a little older. He's a kickboxer, and only ever got one fight the whole time we hung out with him. And it was a guy that was starting shit with him because I'm gonna be honest about this guy. He didn't look like shit, really.
Sure.
Like he kickboxed, but like he didn't carry himself like a badass or anything like that. And I guess he just kicked the guy right in the face and it was done. And I was just like,
that's the best.
That kind of power where it's just like, you know, I don't look like shit. you know, I don't look like nobody, but if you mess with me, but again, I can't even say I don't look like nobody because of what I weigh and, you know, just sort of like people don't want to do crime on me because
Sure.
it seems like it would be a pain in the ass.
Sure.
You know, once you get over 200 pounds, I think it's just like, I'd rather rob like anybody else than this guy.
Not a good idea.
No, because you got to beat him up. And it's like, I don't fucking know. He can lean on me and knock me over.
Yeah. Or be like, yeah, some sort of patriot that's feeling brave today.
Oh, yeah.
And has some sort of weaponry on him.
I mean, that was the biggest lesson I learned in criminology. Like, that was the two sort of biggest things I learned was like, I'm not super at high risk to be a victim of crime. And also that like leaving your door unlocked on your car does not prevent people from breaking into your car. Like, because I grew up thinking like you leave your door unlocked so that if somebody wants to break into your car, they can go into the car without breaking the window. But
Sure.
like I ended up learning after that like, well, they would rather like they just check the handle and they're playing a game of numbers. So,
Yeah,
like,
and you know, it's a fair game. If I left my really nice rain jacket in there and you're going to take it and sell it, you know, enjoy the $12.
well, yeah, and it's like they walk up to the car.
My
if it
sunglasses.
is locked, yeah, but if it is locked, they just don't break into it. They go to another
Right.
car
Right.
that is unlocked. They're checking and checking and checking. That's what they always say. That the other thing they talked about is like a lot of car thefts are people that are warming their car up in the winter in very cold places, and like a lot of the car thieves would say like it was just cold, and I was like walking home. And I saw this car running, and I was like, "This will get me home faster." So I stole the car.
Right.
So I
Makes
mean,
sense.
I still warm my car up. I have insurance, and I know maybe it's bad for the environment or whatever, but it's just that car guy get warmed up. It's cold out there.
DC had a lot of cars stolen when we were there. I would like follow the local news, and they would immediately be like, "Oh my goodness, this person's car! They went to heat it up, and it was gone when they went out there. Can you believe it?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I one
Next
time
call.
in Columbus, I'll say this one time in Columbus when I was in college at Columbus State, I parked on Grant Avenue, which is a road downtown. And I fucking went to class for 2 hours. At the end of the class, I was looking for my keys and I couldn't find them. So I was like, maybe I dropped them. So I retraced my steps back to the car, and I got back to the car and it had been running for the entire 2 hours, unlocked, sitting on the side of the fucking street in a busy town. It was cold as shit in there though, because it was like it was midsummer. It was cold as fuck in that car. It felt great. But okay, we can take the next call.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Oh, hey. What's up? It's Lermy.
What's up? How's
Howdy.
it going?
Good. Wow. Being on the air.
You are
It's
on the
It's quite
air.
a thing, yeah.
I know. How do you guys do it? It's like, damn, I'm just gotta be talking all the time.
Well,
Yeah.
it's easy for us because that's what we'd be doing if we weren't on the air.
Yeah, it's a dysfunction.
Yeah, it just people that do something like this are just people that talk all the time. It's easy to do. It's like for me, it's like I hear from people that are like, well, you see it a lot on Twitter, especially people who bring up that they have a tough time with like conversation. My daughter sometimes will tell me she doesn't know what to say in a conversation, and like, you know, because you know, to be a good conversationalist, steering it back to yourself all the time isn't a good thing, but like that is what you're like, that's what you want to do all the time. So yeah, I just never have had a trouble finding something to say. So it's very easy for me.
Well, I love talking in real life, but for some reason it's like, well, maybe it's just because I'm high, but I'm like, wow, now that I'm on the air, like, what do I say? I have nothing to say. But it's not true. I have a lot of stuff to say.
You're killing it so far.
Thanks, dude. Oh, well, I wanted to say to Brett that I feel like I found some really good music. I'm assuming this is Brett who decides what to play at the end of the podcast episodes. And
yes,
the music's like good.
Jake does it too. Usually I send him stuff, and if I don't have anything, then he picks it. So we do about 50-50, I think.
Well, I like to compliment that. Found some, it's like, you know, having someone suggest cool music to you that you wouldn't otherwise find, because I'm not usually scouting it out. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And
that too.
Oh yeah, dude is a podcast that's been around since like 2006. They're like one of the earliest podcasts ever, and they start with like a song and they end with a song. And you know, like my type of musical habit is, I mean, some people expect me to have like a standard of like what's good and what's bad based upon like the position of most people, but I mean, all of my musical opinions, like I came to them myself. Like I listened to it and it did something for me and I liked it. And, you know, so I'm like inconsistent in that way. But whenever I feel like something has like some magic to it, like that's really what I try to spread around. And I feel like for most genres, there's like some magic there, you know, and there's a lot of filler and fluff and other shit. But like, yeah, there's something there, you know, that I try to focus on whenever I like share or listen. Or, I mean, even the music that I like, really.
I feel like that's like what you're always looking for in music, is like to be like affected, to, you know, somehow. Or to vibe. That's
yeah, and
as well.
And I have, I mean, I just have like, I mean, I have a sense of like getting into something immediately, even if it's not popular and like nobody knows what it is. It's like, I don't have a lot of those like walls up. Like I can be vulnerable and say like, oh, this is killing it right now. This is good. I can get something to the first time without like it being comfortable or familiar. Or I know what's coming up next. Like I can instantly, you know, have faith in like somebody's playing to know like they're going in the right direction.
Yeah. I wanted to
that's how I feel about
recommend an album to
okay,
to whoever would, maybe you, maybe whoever. But it's like a country music album concept, like a concept album about alien abduction, and the music's really good. It's called The Lights on Me. Some guy, I forget. But it's called The Light Sauce. And if you search that, it will come up.
The Light Sauce?
Oh no, The Light Saw Me. Like you know, when you see the lights and you know.
I really like the this looks fucking badass. I just saved it in my
Oh, The Light Saw Me. I was hearing The Light Sauce. I'm a sauce guy.
Well,
are you hungry?
Sauce guys don't.
No, I'm just always saucing. Like that's really where I'm comfortable at. That's even like the music is like, for me, it has to be saucy.
Sauce guys like heavy sauce though, not light sauce.
Yeah, that's true. I'm concerned. That's what I was saying. I was initially concerned when I hear light sauce. I don't know. But
don't go
I can't listen to something about.
Yeah, go heavy on it.
Yeah, always heavy on the sauce.
A little bit of light. I mean, if you're confident in the main dish, I mean, light it up. Keep it light.
Light it up.
So
and then I also had I just have laundry tips to tell people.
Okay. I need that. I just here. Let me before you say this. I got a new washer and dryer 2 weeks ago. I haven't done very many loads for myself because I just haven't, and I did one load for myself today, and I had it set on some setting that made the wash over an hour long. It was going for over an hour, and so I had to do something I've never done in my whole life, and that was I read the instructions for the washer.
Wow. You got like the PDF and shit from Maytag or something?
No,
do you have a roper? What do you have?
Insignia
Ooh,
went cheap.
okay.
You know.
It sounds like filler text. It sounds like this is supposed to be the insignia, but we don't have anything else to say. It's just, this is what it's supposed to be on the front.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah,
one of those with these.
It's a company I thought only made TVs. So
they're expanding in the market.
And the TVs are bad. So I bought a washer and dryer. No, they're fine. It's actually fine. Okay. So what are the laundry tips? I need them bad.
Well, this is more of a tip for people who have like coin-op laundry in their living situation. You can just go
take
down
some
to
pantyhose.
rent a house, right?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I have an apartment. I think me and Brett both have washer and dryer in our apartments.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I don't.
No?
No, I gotta pay. They make me swipe. I got the Wave card reader system, which is the worst fucking system. I've spent 4 minutes just swiping my card over and over again. It says bad read. Try again. I've done it millions of times over. I did one time at an apartment complex I worked at. I put a bunch of quarters into pantyhose to like stuff it into the pay machine that was at the apartments, and it like totally jammed the thing up. And I just like left it with like pantyhose sticking out of it and waited to go back a couple days.
That's funny.
So you tried to do it? The trick?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I got stuck.
I
I didn't pull it tight enough.
Yeah.
I actually have to say I love doing my laundry at the laundromat. Now,
What?
I don't,
because they got a Street Fighter there or something.
no, because you can
Dig
do
Dug?
you can do 5 loads at the same fucking time. It's like a half hour situation, or it's like a 45-minute to an hour situation. It just sucks. It sucks. The everything around it sucks, but the actual concept of a laundromat is, if they were like
Dog, I'm totally with
socialized
you.
laundromats, I would fucking like. I'm so surprised that nobody's come up with the idea. Like, well, I'm just gonna put 6 washers and 6 dryers in my house.
No, I'm with you 100% because that is the nice part about this is like it piles up. It piles up to the point where I get like 3 or 4 loads going, and I can do them all at once and then fold it all at once. And now that you mention it, laundry would take me like a whole Saturday before, and now I
Yeah.
can get it done in an afternoon.
Yeah, I just did laundry all day today, folding and putting away. When I did it at the laundromat, it was truly like it was like a hour 15-minute situation because the
Right.
dryers are super big and super hot. But again, it's way expensive, and the laundromat is like a terrible place to be.
Yeah, our situation here is like somewhat good. We live in like a 3-story New England old ass Industrial Revolution kind of house, but it's rented. So there's 3 floors and 3 units, and there's like a washer dryer in the basement, but it's coin op, which sucks. But they have like just a schedule posted on a piece of paper that's like, floor 3 does Saturdays and so on. So it actually like makes us do laundry on a certain day, and then we just do it that day, and it never really gets too crazy, which is kind of nice. And you're never like waiting for someone to take their like wet clothes out of it so you can like do your thing.
I never have gotten mad at people that leave like their wet clothes or like leave the dryer full. And here's why I never did. It's not because I'm a nice guy. It's because I do it. So,
yeah.
Make
100.
the clothes stinky, make them kind of, just sitting there wet. That's not good.
Yeah, I didn't learn about that until like way later in life. The weirdest laundry thing ever was that my friend growing up wasn't allowed to leave his house if the laundry was on because his mom said it could burn down the house. So it was like
What?
he was
It's like
raised,
a hair dryer or something.
Yeah, he was raised basically to believe that his fucking dryer could light on fire at any minute.
Any moment now, it could be on fire. Oh my god! But
yeah,
anyways,
that'd be scary.
The tip I have coin op laundry people is to search like World Star free laundry forever. And if you have like some Q-tips and pliers to squish the Q-tips, you can basically like make a key that, you know, instead of quarters. It's like the pantyhose thing, I guess, that Brett did, but this actually works.
Sure.
And it's like pretty easy if you have like a semi-private like zone of laundry.
Perfect.
That's fucking so cool. World Star laundry
key.
Laundry key. I'm gonna make one of those. I don't even do the laundromat. So
yeah, there's a lot of that
at the
stuff too. You where do you do it at?
I feel like people
No,
are
where
always
do you?
there.
I'm
People
sorry.
always
Where
watch.
have you heard of other people doing it?
Oh, I get it. I get you. So
Oh.
people are usually watching at the mat when you take it to the mat.
I would think so. I would think so at that situation. But if you're like renting and your like washing machine makes you pay quarters to use it. So
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
24. We have a ton of 24 most laundromats here in Columbus are 24 hours. Like seriously, like it's more rare to have one that's not 24 hours because I've said this before. I don't know what the electricity and power usage is on a laundromat. I don't know what the electric bill is. It's probably crazy or whatever. But like it seems like the two best businesses in the world to own would be laundromat and self car wash. Like just a car wash that's just the hoses that are hanging there.
When you
I don't
pull
know how
up,
much-
you get the sprayer. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Robert Keyes. That's like a Rich Dad Poor Dad classic. He said you should buy an old car. You should buy a car wash. It's an asset versus like, you know, a house that like takes away.
Yeah, that's what that would be the incredible to own a laundromat because I like the one by my house is in the worst shape I've ever seen a commercial place look, and it's like, what are you gonna do? Fucking go somewhere else?
Yeah. There's one. I mean, there's one on Indianola that was just the most decrepit place ever, and they cleaned all the fucking clothes so well, and they never bothered to update anything about that place since the day it first opened. And I'm like, you don't need to. You just have to get the clothes clean. Like I don't want it to be like my doctor's or dentist's office here, I guess.
I mean, dude, the
like
one here,
you put it all on the line. You stopped cleaning the office to make sure that the clothes were extra clean.
the one I went to here recently, I hadn't been there for like a number of months, and it smelled like somebody like actually took a shit outside of the toilet. That was a problem for me.
Right, open air.
Yeah, but the other thing that was crazy is that, you know, the first of all, there's lint all over the floor. I'm talking like bunches of lint, not like, oh, it's a little linty in here. It's like full on just bunches of lint lined all the way down the dryers. But the other wild thing is that vending machine where you can buy like a laundry bag, which I don't know why you would ever have to buy a laundry bag at the laundromat. That seems like just a thing you don't really need to stop.
Hey, I'm a person with extremely poor planning skills, and I don't think I'm ever going to figure it out.
How'd you get the laundry there?
In my arms, bundled up, real tight.
Okay, that's a really bad idea. I get it, but
or an IKEA bag, maybe an IKEA bag, one of those, John.
Well, that's fine. That is totally 100% like a valid way to get your laundry there. I'm saying you get to the laundromat and then you have to buy the bag from the laundromat. It doesn't seem like there is any.
Your bag got all fucked up. You were doing
That's
laundry
possible.
too hard, and you need a new one.
Yeah, my baskets are all like really basically in 3 pieces, 3 to 5 pieces. I have 2 baskets and they are in the worst shape ever. And then my only big basket is now has my box fan on it, and it's strapped down with tie down straps from cars so it doesn't fall over. So like my laundry, and I'm never buying hampers again. I think I'm going to die with the hampers I have.
That's smart.
Yeah, I mean, what's the fucking point?
Buy it once. Buy something with good quality and hang on to it forever.
I have a laundry basket at my house right now that I got in 2002. And I mean, it's just like, why would I ever replace? It's a family heirloom at this point. I'm just gonna like leave it to somebody in my will.
It's
It's
the hipster
vintage.
basket.
Yes, the hipster basket. It is called, it says the hipster. It's kind of breaking, but it's still fucking an incredible basket. 2 years. You can't get 2 years out of a car these days. I just sounded so.
Yeah, I know. It's all flimsy.
Everything's flimsy, yes.
And so I want to ask you guys, speaking of the laundry, when's the last time you washed your pillows?
Never. I've never, ever once washed my pillows. And people are going to think I'm a piece of shit now because this is 2 shows in a row where I've acted like I have bad well, I've pointed out that I have sort of bad hygiene because I also don't clip my toenails very often. But
Oh, God.
yeah.
Yeah. Those talons.
Yeah.
That's why you're tearing through your shit. And you have the 2 small shoes. That made me cringe.
But I didn't know you could wash your pillows until you just said, how many times have you when's the last time you washed your pillows? And then it occurred to me, you probably want to wash your pillows every once in a while.
Yeah, well, honestly,
Yeah.
I think you're not alone on this. I feel like it's little known. People are like, what? But we just did it last night after, like, you know, an embarrassingly long time. Our pillows were looking so, like, flat and deflated. Like, we were like, my boyfriend was like, should we throw these away? And I was like, no, dude, put them in the wash. And then they came out and they're like brand new, so fluffy. And we had like both of us woke up the next day and we're like, I just slept so good on this pillow. It's like a new pillow.
I have never, it's so crazy. I would have never, I thought that was off limits. I thought that was like washing your shoes, like throwing which we used to do when I was a kid,
I
but
mean,
I don't think
yeah.
you're supposed to.
Never should have done that.
Yeah,
They were
but my
never the
parents
same
did that.
afterwards. Mine
No.
did too.
They weren't made for that. Like, I don't know where my parents came from and what time in history where that was maybe when it was like Keds, but they were
Sure.
throwing my fucking suede Nikes in the fucking washer and just saying like, oh, we're going to throw them in the dryer. And then for an hour, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. And then your shoes are fucking ruined.
These will last you till the end of summer.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought, I think that like washing pillows, and changing your mattress or flipping your mattress. That's another thing. The mattress flipping was like, I bought my mattress every fucking, so I have a double mattress. Like, so both sides have pillow top, the top and the bottom. Cause the guy fucking told me, this is like such a fucking like oil change on a car story. The guy told me if we flip it and turn it every 3 months, if we flip it and then turn it and then flip it and then turn it the other way, that I get 15 years out of this fucking thing. Now, I don't do it, and I've probably flipped it 4 times since I've had it, but like, yeah, you're supposed to flip into, if you're not able to flip it, because a lot of mattresses.
You're working on your groove in the bed. You're trying to like really dig down in there and have your.
You don't want to groove though. That is the thing about that's how a mattress gets bad. You do not want to groove in your bed. It will fuck your back up.
You don't groove in there?
You don't get sucked into the hole in the bed.
You're talking about making a groove versus grooving, I guess, is the difference.
I'm talking about how I lay in the same spot in my bed every night, and now there is like an area that is sort of shaped like my body.
Yep.
Like in the thing, like there's an indentation where my body is, and like my back's getting fucked up again. And what was that?
You're marking it. It's yours now.
Yeah, but
now you fit in it. No one else can sleep in it.
But way back, the reason I bought this new mattress, because I'm not a rich guy. I'm not like a go buy a mattress every time you need a mattress guy. That's just not who I am. But the reason I bought the mattress I have is because the mattress we had before, I had made a groove in it. And my back was fucked up for like months and months and months. And I was just like, I don't fucking know what's wrong with my back. I'm a very strong man. And like, you know, I don't get hurt. And I was lifting with my back a lot and stuff too at the time. But like, I just was like, what could be the problem with my back? And I guess I looked on the internet and they said, get a new fucking get a mattress, flip your mattress, you know, do the flippy turny on the mattress. And, your back will feel better. And it was like a week after I bought my new mattress, my back was perfect. It was just back to fucking normal. And like, I really learned my lesson. But now I'm like, the shittiest thing about that kind of thing, and even to your point about pillows, is like, you will need new pillows for several years before you buy them.
Well, it's hard to tell. It's like the crab in boiling water situation, because you just start to get used to how the pillow is, and you're like, this is how big the pillow is, and you know, it's getting more fucked up.
It's your own stank too. Like, I mean, you can make like a whole other person out of my dirty hair and nail follicles and all that stuff. Like, it doesn't gross me out. Like, you're like, oh, that pillow is super soiled. It looks like someone dipped it in tea. Well, it's my tea. Like, that's so it's fine. It's my shit.
Yeah, I don't find sweat to be gross. Like, a lot of people think sweat is like super gross. It's kind of like my shoes thing, right? It's like after I take a walk and I come home, if I'm visiting my daughter in her room, she won't let me sit down on her bed because she's like, you've been sweating all day. And I'm like, what's wrong with it's water, dude? You wouldn't have said that if I got like a little bit of damp water on me. There's no difference between sweat and water.
No, sweat smells like Fritos for sure. That shit's too pungent. That's not water. Water, you don't have to do anything about. Water, you can just leave be. But sweat is a problem. It leaves salt like, stains and shit too.
Extra tangy sweat. But I feel like you can't be, you know, getting your outside aura and clothes like on a bed. God. Definitely not on a bed.
True, goodness. For sure.
This is new.
It's a magical place. The bed should be a magical place that doesn't you shouldn't mix those kind of atmospheres together.
This kind of fucking propaganda and shit started in like 2018. Nobody ever said, I never in my life heard somebody say, don't touch your bed with your clothes or like until like such recent history. I never heard anything about that ever. Nope. My parents never said to me, hey man, don't lay in your bed in your shoes, or like, don't fucking lay in your bed. Somebody said laying in your bed in jeans is gross. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. They're just clothes. What's it hurting? That's crazy to me. That is a new thing.
Outside there's literally like so much toxic fucking dirt and shit in the city, especially. It's like, just you got to respect your the home is like peaceful, and you're not wearing you know, your dirty shoes and stuff.
Do you sit on your couch with your clothes? Do you come home and sit on your couch after you've been outside in the clothes that you're wearing?
I actually like to get into cozy clothes when usually. Well, sometimes I'll sit on the couch, I guess.
I gotta say also.
Like halfway...
Go ahead.
Oh, it's just halfway between. It's like the bed is like the highest of the echelon of like how dirty you want to get the inside of your house. It's like that should be the cleanest. The couch is like below that, and it can be like a little more crazy on there.
Yeah. If I'm covered in sweat, I don't sit down until I'm not covered in sweat. It's just not a good idea to let it build up.
I just sit down on my butt. I don't like lay on my couch and like spread sweat or in the bed.
You put your boots on them. You say you put your boots on your bed.
Sometimes I do if I'm tired. I actually laid in bed in my shoes like right before we recorded. I was like, I'm going to take a nap, but I didn't feel like taking my shoes off. So I just laid in bed with my shoes on. Nothing got on the bed. You guys
See?
are gonna be so surprised. If you looked at my bed, you would have never been like, this motherfucker laid in bed with his shoes on.
Yeah, but you pulled on a thread that's going to unravel the sweater. You're going to be living in a pig pen very
No,
soon.
I'm not. My house is very clean. I don't do anything crazy. I just think
That's crazy. That's crazy. It's too crazy. There's be
that might be.
standards, a little bit of standards.
Yeah, I just think that, like, I don't think that people, I guess, like, maybe this is me being mean or whatever, or like dismissive of other people's issues and stuff like that. I just don't think that, like, I don't think that some of this stuff is very gross. I don't think that there's anything gross on my shoes when I come into my house. It's like, if I stepped in shit, I'm going to take the shoes off when I get into the house. But taking my shirt off or taking my pants off before I sit on.
Walking in the city, though, like, sometimes you literally have no idea what's out there. There's definitely shit, especially, if we walked any amount. There's, like, dog crap and, like, mysterious elements, and I don't know. I also recently watched, like, a video about, what are they called, brown sites or something? Just, like, areas of, like, toxic, runoff and, like, contamination that are pretty much in, like, all of our cities, and, like, especially on the East Coast, because it's, like, the industries are really old and stuff. But there's actually, like, I don't know, like, if you had, like, a baby crawling around or, like, pets or something, and that stuff is, like, concentrated on the ground, it would be, like, bad for them.
I will give you that it is very gross that I put my shoes on in my bed. Like, that I lay in my bed with my shoes on. I will give that to you, that, like, I get what you're saying. That's
your right, though. I support your right to,
but
I'll defend your your right to wear your shoes in your bed if you feel like it.
I certainly may not agree with you, but I'll fight to the death for your right to do it, sir.
Exactly.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, I just think that, like, we really overestimate how dirty everything in the world is, and we live in the world. Like, dirt is gonna get on you. It's the same thing I always say. Like, I think about the car, right? People are like, you gotta fucking wash your car, man. It's dirty. You wanna wash the car. And to me, I don't really feel like you should ever have to wash your car. What's the point?
Oh my God, Jesus Christ!
What?
Really? So here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Let me take down the first one with a little phrase called build up. Okay. You have a minuscule amount of garbage all over your shoes. There is a buildup that happens when you traipse it all over the house. If you keep your feet pristine and inside a little sock cage, and then you maneuver those into house shoes, there's no buildup to happen because there's nothing being ran through the house. And then the second part, what was the second part? What was the other crazy thing you said?
You don't have to wash your car.
And then the other part about it is that the value of your car is literally not related to how well it runs, but how good it looks. So the paint job is really the most important thing on your car, because dumbasses will buy a car that looks good before one that runs good.
Yeah, maybe, but also you could wash it just the one time before you go to do it. Before you go to sell it, you could just roll in, wash it, and
build up.
Give it
build up.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Build up.
Like that.
There's
that's
build
the
up.
thing. It just feels like the outside of the car and clothes
gets
for that
torn
matter,
down.
That stuff's all there to protect your body from stuff. So I see it that way. Like I want
California car is a real thing for all the collectible people. Like, Ohio roads with the salt and the grime and all of that, like, destroys vehicles. Like classic cars, you can't have them here.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. Okay.
Corrosive salt and stuff.
And corrosive ass fucking dirt on my carpet. My carpet is dirty. You can tell. Like, it happened. There's a buildup. It's build up. That's all it's about.
Well, I will take that under. I don't want people to think I'm gross though. I do shower every day and I wash. I have clean clothes. My clothes are always clean when I put them on. I am not a gross person. There are
shoes
just
in the goddamn bed. He doesn't cut his he doesn't. He puts the shoes on the bed, and then when you hassle him to take the shoes off the bed, he has toenails he hasn't cut in 3 months.
That's
Kind of a menace.
I mean,
fucking Bart Simpson. It's like living with Bart Simpson.
having those long toenails like claw your bare leg under the sheets at night, like
yeah,
it's not.
I mean, you
something
gotta do
I
it for the girl.
anyone else.
I wash my shit because I only do it because girls like it. Like, I hate to say that's what it is, but just girls like it when things are clean and manicured, and like that's the only reason that's the only reason I do it. I do have to wash my pillows and blankets and shit.
If you want to give yourself a little treat and like clean something that is probably dirty, you should all wash your pillowcases tonight and then sleep really well.
Okay, this is a reminder. This is the new like medication reminder. Wash your damn pillows tonight.
Yeah, I am gonna wash my pillows tomorrow. I'm 100% doing that.
It felt so good. I was like kind of surprised by how much more fluffy it looked afterwards.
Yeah, I sweat so much in my sleep too. I really should wash. That is exciting to me that you can wash your pillows, because like I was about to go buy new pillows. I just got these pillows like last year, and I'm like, man, these fucking pillows are already breaking down on me. But if you wash it and it fluffs it, that's fucking. Can you dry them? Are you supposed to dry them or not?
Yeah, we put them in the dryer. I mean, I guess it might depend on what's in your pillow. Ours just had like a polyester filling of some kind. I don't know if it would work. I don't know if you could put down pillows in the washer and dryer. You probably can, I guess.
Maybe not.
I would like.
I got the cheapest look it pillows. I got some cheap pillows. So
I have the Sobakawa pillow that's filled with buckwheat husks. So I'll have to look at what that's like. Do you remember that scene on TV one?
Oh, it sounds like corn. It sounds like you got corn in there or something. Like they just shoved corn leaves in there.
I would be up all night, like trying to go to bed. And just this dude would be talking about how cool and comfortable buckwheat husk was to sleep on. Yeah. I never got to do it though. I never had one. I wanted a Sobakawa.
Your own, I guess. Get some buckwheat. Yeah. You could just try like some other ancient grain.
Yeah.
You guys ought to get a bulgur wheat pillow instead.
A bulgur wheat.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I think maybe I will. Maybe I'll get a rye pillow.
Yeah. I mean, I want a nice pillow. I looked up best pillow on the other day. I actually posted that on Twitter that I'm a boomer, because like everything I search for, I search best before it. So it's like if I'm looking for new pillows, I'm like best pillow. And
yeah, and you don't realize at this point that there are like computer programs that can just rent websites like bestpillows.net and create a total website out of it to point you towards their pillow that they sell.
Exactly. So like I get on there and I'm just like, I saw a $90 pillow and I was like, man, if I didn't use 2 pillows, I would buy a $90 pillow right now, but I always use 2 pillows. So, I mean, maybe you only need one if you have a $90 pillow though.
I saw $100 Squishmallow at Party City that I wanted to sleep with so fucking bad.
Is that like a body pillow?
No, they're like these big stuffed animals that are super soft, and like you can just squeeze the shit out of them. They're so cuddly. My kid has a billion of them. That's the only reason I sleep with them. 100 is a lot. I mean, it was steep, but it was like immediately made me feel like I was missing out, though. I had some FOMO for some reason.
Jeez, they got $150
probably
pillows
nice
now.
Damn, that's crazy. I mean, I guess I haven't been in the market for pillows anytime recently.
I mean, I got divorced in the last year. I had to buy pillows. I only buy pillows where I buy everything, which is like Home Goods or Marshalls. Like, well, that's the only, I can never bring myself to pay retail for anything. I'll just take whatever was left over from Nordstrom's or Saks. Like that's what I'll take.
You got a My Pillow store right down the street from your house.
It
you could probably
went bankrupt. It went bankrupt. Yeah, the My Pillow store went bankrupt.
I just walked by it was opening like a couple months ago.
The Clintonville discussion group had a little schism going on because people are like, why are we rooting for certain types of businesses to fail? You know, because like everybody's super crunchy and wants like the LGBTQIA businesses to succeed. But the My Pillow was like, people were immediately talking shit about it.
No, because you know what it is.
You're being hateful and ugly. Like, yeah, you chose the bad side. Like, we fucking hate you. I don't respect that shit.
Yeah, we hate you in this world, My Pillow people.
Mike Lindell, maniacs.
Yeah, eat it, Mike Lindell. Well,
how good of a pillow could it be, even? You know?
Yeah.
No,
yeah, I mean,
cheap. I'm looking at now $165 Satava latex pillow, hotel quality comfort, which, by the way, really bad ad copy because the pillows at hotels are the worst in the world. But it's $165 pillow.
And also, as a drug addict, like, I would sleep anywhere too. Like, I wouldn't trust my opinion on pillows. I don't need comfort. Like, I'll pass out wherever I lay my head is home type deal.
Well,
you know?
Yeah, I'm just saying that, like, I'm looking at $112, $89, and then the My Pillow is like in that $20 range, isn't it? Like, it's
My Pillow's got to be an investment, right?
No, it's not, dude. That's the thing about it. I mean, look at the packaging. You already dealing with $19.98. They're $19.98.
Wow.
They say they retail. Right. Yeah, it is too cheap.
It feels like you didn't do enough research and you really didn't. I don't feel like you care enough about pillows if that's what you came up with.
Yeah, they're saying retail is $69.85, but I don't believe. I think the My Pillow that's the big selling.
It's always been. It's like Kohl's. It's like everything's been on sale from day one. You never sold a pillow for $69.98, dog.
I mean, they have the Giza Elegance My Pillow, and that one's $29.98. So they're not good pillows. They gotta be bad, dude. They're not in a premium price range. A guy found
a factory in China that he could get pillows for and also be like a racist, like, figurehead, or, you know, just be a regular old Republican figurehead and make money. Yeah. So, well, here we go. Thank you for the information on laundry. I did need that. Is there any, did you have anything else? We're going to get to this last call here.
I do art. I had to quit my job recently, so I'm selling art. I have a comic that I wrote and drew and printed out. And that's okay. You know.
Tell people where to find you.
So my Instagram is Lermworm. It's like Lerm.
Lermworm. I've been talking to Lermworm this whole time. God damn it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I love you, Lermy.
You're the best. I was like, this person should call in all the time. This is great, but you're a veteran. I don't know why I missed it either. I think because she said
I was
Lermy. Yeah. That was so fun talking to you. It's good to hear from you again.
Good chat. And good luck to everyone listening with your pillows.
Thank you for calling. That was so fun.
I put a note in call-in studio. You can add notes to a phone number, and I wrote pick up first on the number.
Yeah.
What was she doing? Why did she play us like that?
I don't know. Well, let's get this last call, and I don't have to pee during the show. That's nice.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Bear.
What we got two longtime people in a row. I do want to say that The call-in studio app thinks you're named Pierre. I was like, "Ooh, Pierre's calling." I've never even met or talked to a Pierre in my entire life.
Pierre honestly suits better. I might just change it now.
I don't know. You got to have
Has a lot of suave.
I mean, I don't know what you look like, Bear, but
I feel like Pierre and Bear those are both strong choices.
Yeah, I just don't know. I think you got to have a very specific look to be a Pierre. I think. Striped shirt.
You really got to have a specific look to be a bear too.
That's actually true. But I assume that are you like a big dude? Is that why they called you Bear?
No, they call me Bear because I kept stumbling out of the woods at random times of the day. Like bears kept doing on our county, so they call me Bear.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I would say bear. All I ever think of as bear is squirrely. Like, I don't know what you're going to get, really.
Did you see that big bear thing? Did you see that bear story where they was going to kill a bear and then they did a DNA test and they were like, damn, we don't have to kill the bear. Yeah. I mean, this government will just kill a fucking animal. Like, they just do not have a problem. Yeah. Sometimes they'll just be like, this animal's really annoying. We have to kill it. There was I mean, that happened in Columbus, right in 2011, actually, when me and Brett first started doing this. The animals got out of this
Zanesville guy.
Yeah, he was hoarding animals, and the government was like, we don't, and he died. Like, the guy dies. Nobody knows because nobody talks to him, but he has just tigers and like all kinds of crazy stuff on his land. And the government got there, and Jack Hanna, they went to Jack Hanna first, and they're like, Jack Hanna, dude, what are we gonna fucking do here? And then he said, go ahead and just kill him, I guess. I don't know.
Blast their ass.
Yeah, they killed all of them. And it was very sad. And you would think that Jack Hanna maybe would have been nicer about everything, but he just ran cover for, them shooting.
Yeah, I mean, he wants like legitimate zebras, the one that he like smuggles in through his zoo shit. He doesn't want some hillbilly out in Zanesville like letting you pet a zebra for $5 on the side of 71.
I mean, the funny thing here is,
he doesn't want street zebras.
No, there was a lot of, when I went to Virginia, there was more than one public zoo that we lived near, and it really boggled my mind.
Yeah. I mean, it's
I'm sorry, not public, just private. Like renegade zoo, private zoo. Yes, I'm sorry, that's what I meant, private zoo.
Yeah, I mean, that Tiger King, there's like 4 or 5 of them in that show, and one of them is in Virginia. But like, what was I gonna fucking say? I totally lost my train of thought there. I had something and I might get it back. So what's up, Bear?
I was just calling in to talk about being a photographer now and like how weird that is sometimes.
Photographer or pathog? Did you say pathographer?
Oh,
is that a thing you can do?
Oh no, sorry. Photographer. I just can't speak right.
I don't think pathographer is a word, Brett.
Yeah.
I think pathology is something, and I just got confused there. So what?
I feel like a pathographer sometimes.
Yeah. What kind of photography are you doing now?
I do a lot of like just street stuff, kind of like landscape, but more like urban based. Some landscape stuff, and then just a lot of like portraits, things like that.
And you're selling them online, or are you doing it for a company?
So right now I'm just building up a portfolio, really. Like I've just dug full into this, dipped out all my savings and started investing in it and really trying to work for it. But I'm hoping to start selling prints and like get like just freelance jobs whenever I can.
Oh my God. You know what popped into my head when you said you were a photographer? Just knowing your history, Bear has had a lot of cruddy jobs, I would say. I thought you were the person that takes pictures that go inside the frame. Like, I thought you were going to tell me I'm a photographer, but I'm the person that takes the pictures inside that come with the frame, that's probably a fascinating job, and maybe even a job that you should look into if you're a photographer. I don't know. like who takes those pictures? But somebody got to take those pictures, or do they buy them off us? Like, is there like a marketplace where like a guy can go to a website and be like, my frame company is looking for good things to put inside the frames we're selling, and then you can put your stuff up there for a portfolio.
Okay, so that's actually what it is. They just sell stock photos. What it is like, you know, you go get your family portrait taken by a guy like me, and then I'm like, hey, by the way, you wanna do a deal where I give you like an extra $100 discount off this, and then like I just sell it to some guy, and most people are just like, sure, and like you just sell photos of random people.
Yeah, I mean that,
Wow.
and you can also like be like, I'm gonna take. You could also, would you take photographs of like senior pictures? Could be like a move to like save a little money. Wedding photography, but yeah.
You got to prey on 18-year-olds. They don't know how powerful their signature is.
Yeah, I mean, really anything where you can convince someone to sign a piece of paper, that way you can get the model release. I mean, my friend who's been doing this a lot longer than I have has definitely sold some senior portraits off to stock companies because they just look like generic white guy number 3. So you can just sell that shit off quick.
They do. They I mean, it is like when you, I would love to know it. I wonder, so when I buy a picture frame and there is a picture of a family in that picture frame, is that a real family, or is that a group of people that the picture frame company got together to take a picture because they were like, that's a good looking family, like we'll make a good looking family?
How do you?
It really depends, but a lot of the time it's just some like random family, you know, just real people.
Yeah. Oh, that's so weird. I never thought like that's wild to me. Well, how's it going? I mean,
I've
what
heard
are
of
you
people? I was just gonna say I've heard of people like going into frame shops and then like seeing their own picture up there and they're like, oh shit, I don't even remember signing up for this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I mean, it is a cool, if it works. I mean, obviously working out is a weird thing to say because you're doing it and it sounds fun. But you know, if this ends up being your thing, that's pretty incredible. Photography is something that's like super interesting to me. I don't know how to take a picture that looks good. I never have. I have missed out on so many fucking great like experiences. Like Woodstock 99, I had a camera the whole time and I took the worst pictures in the world, and nobody would even know I was there. So, and even the pictures in my phone are like all crooked.
It's super crazy because like I always had that problem too, and then literally like I was going to go to film school to learn how to be like a video editor. Like that's what I was going to do. And then my friend was like, fuck that, just learn how to do photography. And he gave me a camera, and like suddenly he just taught me like 3 basic things, and like my photo skills went way up way fast.
That is, yeah, I mean, that's really cool.
Love it.
I hope it works out for you. I keep saying that. Why did I just say that twice?
I mean, like
what's my brain?
I mean, like right now, I'm like on the side of the strip in Pigeon Forge right now, out of state, just trying to get some like good photos.
Hell yeah! You should see if you can get. See if you can get to Seattle. That is a good place, and Asheville is a good place. Those are good places if you're looking for nature.
Seattle's a really long walk, but I'll see what I can do. I can hook that up.
Yeah, so that'd be a while.
Yeah, it'll take a long time to get there. That is for sure. I always think Tennessee's very beautiful, though, whenever I go through there. So
yeah, captivating. I had someone talk shit about Smoky Mountains, and I was like, what do you mean that's not like impressive or like nature or like forest on steroids? Like it's overwhelming when you're there.
Yeah, I think I get like a little tricked in like the Smoky Mountains because there is so much tourist stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a Ripley's and all that, but like the nature part of it is undeniable. Like they're there for a reason.
It's so sad that like,
dude,
the most beautiful areas of the United States are surrounded by pure shit.
Yeah, right.
It's so sad. We got these like natural wonders, and then there's a goddamn Ripley's Believe It or Not 15 minutes away from it.
There's a pizza shop that knows that there's a new person, a new sucker every single night that's willing to try their pizza. You know, they've overextended themselves. They don't know what to do, and they just want to order pizza to the room, and they're going to sell a piece of shit pizza every single night to the next stranger that comes to town. You know, those people should be fucking dragged out of town. I have no, I hate that.
Those
I hate
pizza guys are the worst.
Dude,
yeah.
it's
Vacation pizza should
crazy.
be outlawed.
Vacation pizza is like, it's super hit or miss for me. Sometimes it really hits, and I'm like, you know what, this is fucking good. I'm glad it's here. And then like the other 50% of the time, it's just the worst shit that you can put in your mouth.
It's just because they can take advantage of you.
Yeah, I think it kind of also depends on where you're. Actually, no, that's not true, because like I remember when we went to Great Wolf Lodge a few years ago, which is in Sandusky, Ohio, which also has Cedar Point, and oh wait, that wasn't in Sandusky, that was in close to Kings Island, near Cincinnati.
Yeah.
But there was like no good. The fucking hotel had terrible food. And then fucking nothing around it. And you're like, there's a fucking major amusement park right here. Like, how is there nothing good to eat? But you're right. It's just somebody with a bunch of money that is like, yeah, man, people pay $30 for a pizza that tastes like shit. I mean, what are they going to do?
They have no other option.
Yeah. Give me a bad review.
Dude, it's crazy too. I mean, like, they can just place this shithole restaurant wherever they fucking want to, because there's just property by everywhere. Like, I started flying my drone right outside of my cabin. I flew it straight up, and like, you can look behind it and see all this like super nice like deep woods and like mountain and shit. And I turn it around, and there's like 3 billboards advertising like real estate for sale for fucking businesses to be planted down. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, there really is like 180 like everywhere you go.
There's just I mean, there is just no appreciation for having like what they call in a city green space. Like, they're just, if they can sell it, it's just they're gonna fucking sell it. They would rather sell it than just have a place to go to sit on grass. It's sad. It fucking
dude, it's
sucks,
that crazy. Man. It's that old-fashioned grass is always greener shit that people talk about. Like, these like old hicks are like, I want to get rich quick and sell this business space. Yeah. And then like in 3 years, their kids are gonna be like, where the fuck are my trees? You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, I look at the way cities are laid out now, where they kind of radiate out and just get bigger and bigger and bigger. At least that's the way it does here in Ohio. Is like, you got the city, and then there's this suburb, and now there's the next suburb, and it just keeps radiating out of the city. And it, like, at some point, like, there are parts of this state that used to be very far, that like, just from where I'm from, I'm from a place called Groveport, and there was a place called Lancaster that is, you know, was very far away. Actually, to me, growing up, it felt very far away because I had to drive through a lot of like nature and stuff and open fields and shit. And now those two places are connected. And that to me is like seeing places that you thought were far away being connected to the city now. It can't be fucking good.
Dude, I know how that feels. My house that I live in is planted out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And then like slowly we just got like a pizza joint at the end of my road that used to just be like dense forest when I was a kid. And it's like, God, we're really killing everything, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, we used to play in the woods. Growing up, I used to play in the woods a lot. I mean, and there were so much woods that you could go back there and shoot guns and stuff. But during the real estate boom in 2000s, late 90s, they cut every bit of the woods out that I used to play in growing up, and now it's just houses, wall-to-wall houses. And it like, that neighborhood, now has zero nature. It was a suburb. It wasn't like in the middle of nowhere, but it was relatively close. I don't know. It was 10 minutes away from downtown. So you got out of downtown and then you were far enough out where there were some trees, but it was mostly houses and shit. And it just I hate that we keep taking away areas of the country that are beautiful, so that we can, I don't even know, like, for what? So that we can put a fucking Best Buy in?
Well, yeah. I mean, Smoky Mountains, they're not trying to put a Best Buy in the Smoky Mountains. Not yet.
Yeah.
No, it's already there.
Well, and you know what?
Like,
having a Best Buy is nice. I used the wrong example, actually, to tell you the truth. 'Cause, well, I love having a Best Buy close by. I live 15 minutes from any Best Buy, and it's horrible.
Man,
it's comforting to know that the Geek Squad is around.
Yeah.
What I personally like to do to make sure that, like, we don't keep installing useless shit is just, like, toss a mattress on your front lawn, shoot a shotgun shell into it every couple of nights, really just drive down that property value.
They'll kick you out of your house for that now, though.
Yeah, I can't live
not
free
if you're the one that
anymore.
owns it. You gotta inherit that property, man.
Yeah, there are houses on Ohio State campus, though, where they continually make new laws because they, have couches out in the yard. Now they're like, no couches on the front porch. And it's like, this is my fucking front porch. I want a couch there. So eat it, okay?
That's
Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to live.
It's weird how they can, like, just push that shit just because they got some extra money to throw around.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it is ugly. That neighborhood is hideous. It's an eyesore. There's trash everywhere. But you know what? That's where college students live. So who fucking cares? Like, fuck it. Like, let them live in their filth. I don't fucking care. I'm not going there. Well, Bear, we gotta head out of here. It was good to hear from you. Tell people where to find you.
Same place as always, Bitasina on Instagram. Same as my Twitch handle. I drop in the chat sometimes. Starting up a Twitter soon, hopefully, if I ever get around to it. Same tag there too.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling, Bear. It's good to hear from you.
Appreciate it.
All right, we out of here.
Yeah, that's
watch
the show.
The Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah, I watched the indie opener today. I'm so excited about fucking racing. Like, this was so nice. I want to smell the burning rubber so bad. I can't wait to see it again. Scott McLaughlin pulled it off. He first win and also the opener. So it was a lot of fun. St. Petersburg. I'm thinking next year I want to be down there for the race. Like, I would rather do that for my birthday. I've been like on a super long run from Valentine's to my kid's birthday, where the last 2 weeks have just been absolutely 100% like redlining it, all the time.
Yeah.
Food wise, celebration wise, my birthday, my kid's birthday, Valentine's Day, rocking and rolling. It's been a good time.
I do want to say I am watching a documentary series on Netflix called Race that is about Bubba Wallace. And not too bad. It's actually not. It's pretty good.
I got a better one for you.
It's not bad though. I'm enjoying it.
You got to watch this documentary called Uppity.
I've seen it. I watched that.
You have?
Yeah, Willie T. Ribs.
Oh, it's so. Yes, the baddest motherfucker ever. If you notice in the new studio, I put up a drawing of a car in the background. It's his Toyota Supra that he drove at Mid Ohio. That's the car in the background. I love that movie so much. It's so good.
It's good. Yeah. This race thing it's like both about like the George Floyd stuff and this guy's career. And like the fucking, I don't know, NASCAR is pretty fascinating. And especially to look at it through the lens of a black guy, like the only black guy in the races in NASCAR. It's really good. And it is really not super heavy handed where he talks about the George Floyd stuff, but it isn't like he is exploiting it or anything like that. He's saying that, like, I didn't care about politics. I never got involved with anything, even like race related or anything like that. But I saw the Ahmaud Arbery shooting, and
Oh yeah.
I saw George Floyd thing happen, and that's what it like sparked something in me, and I decided no matter how fucking hard it is, I'm going to like stand up for stuff. And then there's a full episode about when he suggested that they ban the Confederate flag at NASCAR races, and like all this stuff, like, which he did in an incredible way, like, and with incredible bravery. He actually fucking went on CNN and just said it without telling fucking anybody. He didn't tell a single person, and he was just like, I think we should ban the Confederate flag, which then puts the league on kind of, what are they going to do? Like, we should keep it. We want to keep it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it makes them responsible. It asks like whether or not they're going to be okay with that, you know?
Yeah. Well, that is the show. We'll see you on Wednesday. We'll get a Joe Blystone ad. It'll be fun.
Yeah, there was something like that happened in F1 with Sebastian Vettel. He said we shouldn't do the Russian Grand Prix this year, which is like some stupid ass. I mean, I get it, but like Formula One still happens in like Saudi Arabia and like United Arab Emirates and like all these other fucking places, you know?
Yeah, that's like that Eurovision thing saying Russia can't participate in Eurovision.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, come on, man. Look at the other countries.
You're down with it. Yeah. You don't have shit to say. True. Good point. All right. Well, we will see you on Wednesday for another remote street fight. We are available on most of all of the podcasting apps, I guess.
Yes.
Leave a review, let people know about it. And if you want to keep us going, head over to patreon.com/streetfightradio, where you get access to all the bonus content that we put out each week. I'll see you on Wednesday. Peace.